The Spokane Chiefs hoping to clinch a spot in the Western Conference Finals tonight. Highlights and reaction from the Spokane Arena.
And what we saw at the town hall were people with power believing that they have absolute power, and they don't.
The local woman dragged out of a Coeur d'Alene town hall meeting earlier this year talks with KREM 2 for the first time tonight about what happened and why she may sue.
We're cool again tomorrow morning, but we're talking sunshine and temps on the rise in the days to come.
Good evening and thank you for joining us for the KREM 2 Night Report. I'm Mark Hanrahan. Fentanyl continues to be a growing crisis in Spokane, with nearly 60 deaths related to it already piling up this year. KREM 2's Cody Proctor joining us live from the newsroom tonight with more on a new community effort trying to slow it down. Cody?
This story isn't a new one for us. We have covered the impacts of fentanyl for quite some time, and it's impacted a lot of families throughout Spokane County. Now a mom hopes to turn her grief into action. Katara Johnson lost her son Gabriel to fentanyl back in March.
Gabriel was an amazing, smart young man. He fought hard for his recovery. He relapsed a couple of times, but he always got up and started again. He wouldn't quit.
She shared her story Tuesday night at an event hosted by the group Save Our Spokane. Fentanyl's a growing crisis in Spokane County. According to the Spokane Regional Health District's opioid dashboard, more than 200 people died last year due to fentanyl. The same dashboard reports dozens more already died this year. One of those numbers was Johnson's son.
He really cared about being clean. He wanted to make his family proud. Relapsing wasn't something that he wanted to do.
Now she's launching Gabriel's Challenge, a community response to Spokane's fentanyl crisis. Some ways people can get involved include adopting a city block and attending upcoming weekly resource mapping meetings.
At the end of the day, no matter how different and how many differences we have one thing in common, and that's the serial killer in our community named fentanyl. And we can all rally behind that.
Johnson hopes the challenge helps save lives like Gabriel.
I believe that Gabe, if he could see it right now, he would be extremely happy. And I hope he can and see that I'm doing it, Gabe.
Now, Gabriel's Challenge starts Mother's Day with a kickoff event at the Pavilion. It'll run through Father's Day. For more information, that can be found on our website. Cody Proctor, KREM 2 News.
Cody, thank you very much. New tonight, Lori Vallow has been found guilty for conspiracy to commit first-degree murder. Vallow was on trial in Arizona for conspiring to kill her former husband, Charles Vallow. She represented herself during the trial. Vallow is already serving 3 life sentences for murdering her children, Tylee and JJ, along with her role in the death of Tammy Daybell. The results are in for the special election tonight. The Spokane County Fire District 8 levy passed by a pretty comfortable margin, as you can see right there on your screen. It'll now restore the EMS levy there from 30 cents to 50 cents per $1,000 of assessed property value. The fire district says the levy will fund the replacement of old medical equipment and allow them to hire more EMS staff. Well, let's talk weather. An absolutely beautiful day across the inland Northwest, and things are only expected to get better from here. Let's head outside right now to Chief Meteorologist Jeremy Legoo. Jeremy?
Mark, it's going to be beautiful, but tonight is another cool one, especially if you step outside. 48 feels a little bit cold, or maybe I just learned a lesson from standing out here last night going, all right, it's starting to get a bit chilly. But look at Deer Park. I left this one on here just because Deer Park is so much colder than Spokane. A whopping 13-degree drop just 20 miles to the north. Tomorrow, well, we start out cold, down in the 20s up in Deer Park, near at Newport, and right around freezing pretty widespread across the region. It's going to be a somewhat cool start to the day, thanks to clear skies overhead. And those clear skies, they're sticking around. We have a ridge of high pressure building in off the coast, and what that does for us is gives us more sunshine, but also warmer temperatures in the afternoon. Tomorrow morning starts out chilly, but we're in the 60s later on in the day. 70s Thursday and Friday as sunshine dominates the forecast.
All right, sounds good to me. Jeremy will check back in with you later in the show. Well, today is Earth Day, and while the city of Coeur d'Alene is known for its natural beauty, the leader of a local astronomy club argues that more can be done. KREM 2's Connor McAvoy reports tonight.
The streetlights are shining bright in downtown Coeur d'Alene tonight, but for one local man with a passion for the stars, he says the environmental impact is blocking what many love to explore. Michael Christensen is the founder of the Coeur d'Alene Astronomy Club. It's a group dedicated to learning and educating those interested in different parts of the universe.
Most of what I enjoy doing is just getting the telescope out on a clear night and letting people see as many important things as they can.
A joy Christensen says can easily be interrupted due to city light pollution. Light pollution is an excessive or inappropriate use of artificial light. That includes city lights that stay on throughout each evening. Christensen says the lights downtown make it difficult for him and other astronomers to study the makings of the universe.
Those are absolutely awful because they don't have any direction control whatsoever. So if you had a few hundred of those, they would spend half their light pointing up at the sky.
To raise awareness of the environment of the night sky, Coeur d'Alene City Council issued a Dark Skies proclamation for this week. The goal is to raise awareness of light pollution.
It's basically to kind of keep it dark so you can see the stars.
Coeur d'Alene Mayor Woody McEvers says over the years, efforts have been made by Avista when new street lights get installed in the city.
They put new bulbs in it and they put the shields on it so that the light is actually directed down. And I think you see that on Highway 95, so it's been evolving for quite a while.
As Christensen and other members of the Astronomy Club continue their passion for the universe, he argues more can be done.
Maybe some policies that take effect after 11 p.m. or after midnight, even reducing the power of lighting. I think about that all the time. What was the sky like 2,000 years ago? Everybody could see the Milky Way.
Connor McAvoy, KREM 2 News.
Today, Idaho Governor Brad Little was in Coeur d'Alene to sign a new executive order called the Make Forest Healthy Again Act. Little says the act will allow state and federal agencies to collaborate and reduce fire risk across Idaho's federally managed forests. This follows the Trump administration's recent efforts to enhance forest management by streamlining what they call heavy-handed federal policies. Part of this emphasis on forest management from the White House also includes an increase in domestic timber production. We reached out to a forestry expert from U of I after Little's speech today.
For too long, much of these forests have remained totally untouched, like for about 40, 50 years. And they've created a tinderbox of fuels.
I do really hear broad scale agreement that we need to make sure that we're ensuring protection of streams, wildlife habitat, recreation access. We can do that while we are engaging in activities like timber harvesting, prescribed burning.
Dennis Becker there says fuel reduction is top of mind for people across the political spectrum as long as it's done thoughtfully. Governor Little says there is about 6 million acres of land in Idaho labeled under severe risk. No word yet on which forests in North Idaho might see forest management efforts under the new act. All right, don't go to bed just yet. The woman accused of stabbing her own mother and daughter making her first court appearance today.